Guys, we're giving away some incredible things. We're giving away people's time and gifts from each presenter at the Soul to Soul Summit coming up September 9th through the 17th. We're going to be having some powerful experiences here, and we're going to be giving away, each presenter is going to be giving away a gift. They're going to be telling about their experience. They're going to be doing a presentation, a course, a lecture, something of incredible value, because you know, when you talk to the people that have been through serious chronic illness or addiction or whatever it may be, autoimmune conditions, anxiety, depression, that's where you get the gold, right? That's where we get the most valuable experience, when people tell their stories and how they've overcome, so that other people can have those tools and understand the information that is available to help us move our lives forward in powerful ways, to transform ourselves, to get that healing. So we're talking about the Soul to Soul Summit, which is part of our campaign here to raise money for our Core 4 program, and our partnership with the Patron Project, where we're supporting healing warriors to get them emergency needs and healing foods and supplements, so that they can keep living and in succeeding in their health. Johnathan's here. We're going to bring on Johnathan Richards in just a moment here. Go ahead and request an invite if you don't get one there, Johnathan. And he's going to talk to us about his journey in addiction and so much more. And he's going to be a presenter at the Soul to Soul Summit, again, coming up at September 9th. You've got to go to the link in our bio to register and make a donation if you can. If you're not, then we want everybody to be there. So here we go. We're bringing Johnathan. I'm excited for this. Are you guys ready? Drop me an emoji here if you're coming to the summit. I want to hear from you guys. Who's excited? Johnathan.
Hey, Lyndon.
Brother, it's good to see you again,
Good to
man.
see you too, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Just out here in beautiful Montana right here.
Yeah, I was just
Enjoying a
looking at that.
nice little shady spot under the maple tree here.
Nice.
Yeah. What's
That's
been a highlight from the week for you?
that's where you live? That's what you
Yeah,
see
I'm in
every
Mon.
day?
Yep.
Wow, man, that's beautiful. That's healing right there, man. Speaking of soul healing, that's
Definitely.
beautiful. Cool,
Yeah.
man.
So what's a highlight from you?
Actually, yeah, speaking of nature, my partner Emily and I, we went out in nature this morning for a couple hours. A beautiful local reserve, just peaceful, quiet. There's this, kind of a medium-sized pond there, a bunch of wildflowers, butterflies. I mean, it was beautiful. So that was definitely the highlight of the day so far.
Amazing.
Mm.
I love it. You guys are out there in Florida still, right?
No, actually, we're in Missouri, small
Oh,
town Missouri.
that's right. You moved to
Yeah,
Missouri. Okay.
yep, small town Missouri, 7,000 people, small town Missouri.
Okay.
Yeah,
How's it like out there now? How do you like it?
yeah, I like it. I mean, everybody's super friendly and they're going super slow. Nobody's in a rush. It's like uh, Missouri just shooting the breeze, and there's beautiful parts. Like there's actually a silica plant right down the road. Yeah,
Silica plant.
yeah, yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool.
So
Um,
like, as far as like a place that manufactures silica.
yeah, so I think it's sandstone. It's sandstone mines, and yeah, I think what they do is they have their commercialized process where they excavate the stone and they break it down. And yeah, it's not like the supplemental silica that we take, or the silica in watermelon, but it's commercialized and sold for whatever else plastic kind of products. But yeah, it's cool that when I drove into Missouri initially and I drove right by that, And I was like, oh, okay. So a little bit of a sign.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Jonathan, you're going to be a presenter at the Soul to Soul Summit coming up. I'm really excited for that. What is your let's just go back to your your journey and tell people a little bit about yourself and how you came to this point where you're now presenting to people and trying to help others with their well-being. So
Mhm.
where did it all start for you?
Yeah, no, I'm really excited to be a part of this, and yeah, blessed to be in the spot where I am after years of struggling with addictions. Going back to when I was 9 years old, started with a pornography addiction, and then escalated to alcohol, marijuana, caffeine, and yeah, I was an athlete growing up, and I was always interested in like you know performance enhancement, and I got into researching about diets and supplements, and that started when I was about 15, and then I just got hooked. I just wanted to get stronger and faster and bigger, for sports. But after my competitive athletic career ended, um, because of my physical challenges, I started to just have chronic back issues. That was a big thing for me, and yeah, I started to do research and tried so many different diets, and you know um, really struggled with the addictions, and that came to a head in I was about 23, I believe. Um, and yeah, really, that was like the transformational experience for me. It was facing the addictions, facing the challenges of the addictions were bringing to my life, and admitting that for the first time. And that was such a huge transformational threshold for me to cross, and I was kind of pulled over it. I was kicking and screaming a little bit. It wasn't something I wanted to admit at first, but it was such a blessing in my life because it opened my eyes up to um, something that was really just running my life, and I didn't know it. And so yeah, that was the beginning. Went did the 12-step journey, and had some success, but really struggled still. And if you walk into a 12-step group meeting, there's everybody's got a coffee and a cookie. And so, for me, it was kind of like I was stopping one addiction and trading for some others, not really aware. But it was such a blessing to have that support. And so that was kind of the catapult for me. And then I crashed again. I went to rehab for about a year, three different rehabs over a course of a year. I went to a rehab. Then I went to a secondary kind of outpatient, inpatient rehab, and then I went to a transitional living home in Arizona and stayed there for a couple months before I came back home to New York. And so, yeah, the addiction um, realm was my intro into spiritual awakening, and then in 2020, I went through a divorce, and my body just stopped working. It was just like my body shut down. Like I couldn't get out of bed. I was depressed, anxious, neurological symptoms, muscle twitches, spasms, and yeah, it was pretty rough. And then shortly after, I was on my knees praying for answers, and the medical medium information showed up, and obviously just changed everything for me. So
So you'd been through all of these different efforts to try to make sense of addiction and improve your lifestyle and work on your health, and then you finally found medical medium and you start to see some results.
mhm.
So what has that been like?
Yeah, actually, um, I had been going through the whole process for 12-step process for think it was close to like 8 years. And like I said, I struggled for a while and I got some sobriety. But when I found the medical medium information and started to apply it, that was like what got me over the hump. That was what I've been looking for and searching diet after diet and different supplements and yeah, but to realize like the true reason behind the addictions, I mean, just reading that in of itself was like this healing epiphany that came through, and it was just mind blowing for me. And in that moment changed my life forever. To have like actual answers and reasons, truth why the addiction was here, was with me, was challenging, was overcoming my life, and uh, and also to realize that it wasn't in my head, that it wasn't because I was weak, it wasn't because I was some weak man or just genetically predisposed or whatever other excuses were out there at the time um, for the addictions. But it was just very empowering to realize that it wasn't in my head, it wasn't because I was weak, and that my body needed nutrients. My body needed was deficient. There was toxic heavy metals in my brain and body, and there was emotional trauma in my body, that in my liver, that needed to be released, and is still being released and healed. And so yeah, it's been quite a journey. It's been quite a roller coaster ride. I mean, as you know, and as many medical medium people know, it's not linear. When we start to open up pockets of the liver that have been holding on to these toxins and these emotions and experiences, they got to go out somewhere, and it's out the nervous system. And oftentimes we're all very sensitive because we've been through a lot. And so when those toxins and emotions are released, it's tough. It's really tough, but there's no other way but through. And so that's for me, and pulling on my athletic background and just training and training and training for so many years. This is my new training. This is every day I get to eat these foods, these healing foods from the earth that pull toxins out of my body that are God knows how old, and how toxic, to enlighten the body and enlighten the soul.
What a what a profound thing! Like when we discover that our traumas and our emotional baggage can be stored in the liver, like you said, it's like it gets stuck in the body
Mm-hmm.
and it has to come out, and you're working on your healing, and you're uncovering these pockets, and you have to kind of go back and work through these different health issues. That's kind of mind-blowing and overwhelming, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it can be. For me, I geek out on it. I really do, because I was in the medical field for 10 years. I was an X-ray CAT scan tech,
Mm.
and so I could see inside the body. I could see. I've seen so many livers that are fatty. I've seen metal deposits in brain tissue and toxic calcium deposits. I've seen I've actually seen live on video through an endoscopic surgery center that I used to work at. I've seen rotting proteins and fats in intestinal tracts, and it's legit. So I've seen it in real time.
Oh my gosh, I love
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
That's so cool because we read about this stuff in the book, and then
Yeah.
you've actually witnessed it and seen the scans. That's so cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Everybody's got some form of fatty liver. That's for sure. Well, at least that came through the hospital.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Those
Hmm.
scans. But I'm sure that's a good sample of population that are, all struggling with issues, symptoms, health conditions, which is most people,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
even if they
Yeah.
don't end
Well,
up in the hospital.
right. I was going to say whether they know it or not.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so how has your life changed, and what has become the result of having all this information?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, my life's changed in so many ways. I mean, um, yeah, I feel more clear. I feel clear in myself. I feel more aware of what's going on in my body. I've never been so in tune with my body and what it needs, and kind of what's coming through, whether it's physical, emotional symptoms. Um, I've I just feel closer to nature. That was a big one that I'm really appreciative of, because for so long I was, like many people in mainstream society, I was just caught up in the day to days, working inside and working a 9 to 5. And oftentimes when I wasn't working, I was recovering or partying or drinking, and never really connected to nature. And so over time, as this, I've been slowed down by this, and I've had to go inward, and getting so close to the foods and understanding how the foods work and how they heal the body. I've experienced this connection to nature that is deep for me, and something that is very important, and near and dear to my heart. Like every day I'm in nature, I see something that is it just lights me up, and I connect with it. And Anthony has taught us this, which I've really taken that for my own personal healing journey, and run with it. These meditations and just being mindful of nature. The sounds, the birds, the wind, um, the crickets, snapping twigs. And just connecting to the earth and grounding our bodies, because our bodies are our roots, right? Our roots, we connect them into the earth, and our liver. Um, Anthony talks about how our liver knows us better than anyone else, even the universe. And then he talked about how the earth knows us better than anyone. And so I think there's a connection here with the liver and the earth. There's a as above, so below, as within, so without connection here. And so, um, he talks about you ever hear him talk about, or actually it's in one of the books, the whale analogy of like the whale in the ocean. The
Can
whale
you
is the
let's
liver.
let's just pretend I haven't. Refresh my memory.
Yeah, and so he says the whale, I forget what kind of whale it was, but it might have been liver rescue. The whale is the liver, and then the water is our blood. And so the whale, um, it needs, thinned out water. Like our blood needs to be thin, not thick, in order for the whale to breathe, in order for the whale to swim. And so yeah, I really think there's a huge connection with the earth and our liver. And obviously the earth is grounding for us. Our liver is our grounding mechanism. And uh, so yeah, I feel that there's been a huge shift from healing the liver, from cleaning out the liver, of just this connection to earth, like I say, connection to my body. Um, and I'm still healing, but I feel so light and connected to a higher purpose, and that's evolving every day. But yeah, it's just the feelings of being free from addiction. That's huge. I mean, that was an everyday thing for me for 25 years, and to wake up now and be free from addiction, I mean, that is just priceless for me. So yeah, I'm truly grateful for the healing, the information, the community. It's been huge in my life.
I'm hearing that you've got this sense of freedom that you found, freedom
Mm,
from the addiction, and I'm hearing like a connection to the world around you, a greater connection to nature, a greater connection to maybe even yourself, and
mm,
and a sense of purpose about life, which, how meaningful is that versus
yeah.
like where you were before?
Hmm. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's priceless.
It's priceless.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, um, So you're going to be talking about all this stuff at the summit, right? Can you tell us a little bit more about what you're going to be presenting?
Yeah, so speaking of the liver, yeah, I'll be talking about how the liver, healing the liver is connected to the soul, healing the soul. And um, yeah, I'm really excited about that talk. And it's one for me that, I just touched on. And Anthony talks about how um, everything that we need is in the liver. Everything that we want to come to us, everything we want to happen in our lives is through the liver. If we have a clean liver, that happens in our lives. And so, um, yeah, like I said, I think the liver is connected to the earth, right? It's our grounding mechanism. And so the earth has a soul. We have a soul. And when we connect to that, we heal our souls. We connect to a higher connection with that energy, that light. And, I think for me, my biggest goal is to create a ground roots connection with this information because I think it's really important. It's really important to stay in our roots. It's really easy for us to get in our heads and start to play in the branches and in the clouds. And, um, you know, mindset is great, but we're in physical bodies and physicality. And so our bodies need to be grounded in the earth. And we can always dig our roots deeper. And speaking of, that's my gift is actually I created my own audio version of the Surrounded by Trees meditation, the medical medium surrounded by trees, and that's available as a free gift, which I'm excited about. And yeah, I mean, to me, it's like I said, that's my passion. That's my goal is to talk about the liver, talk about our roots, digging them into the earth. We can always go deeper, and Anthony keeps coming out with more nature healing tools and the Life Changing Foods expanded book is coming out with more foods, and it seems like it's got like a forager's guide to it kind of feel for me. Like there's like different tubers and roots and different other, wild foods that he's going to be talking about. So it's almost like this wild forager's guide that he's included in it to help connect us to, the larger world of medicinal healing that the earth produces for us.
Awesome. Awesome. Um, and so, yeah, that's really exciting to hear about that. I can't wait to see your presentation, man.
Mm-hmm.
Um, all this is going to be really valuable for somebody, especially if they've gone through addiction or any kind of health issue. But I mean, addictions are a part of so many of our health journeys, right?
Yeah, yeah, and that's a great point, and that's one that I feel like is addressing the elephant in the room, right? Like we all want deeper healing, but some of these addictions, specifically like sexual compulsive behaviors, is one that like so many of us struggle with, and it's hard to talk about. It's hard to meet within ourselves and to express it outward to others and share that. And so I think it's one of those things that can really um, prevent deeper healing if it's not addressed. It really can, And then the spiritual book that came out, that was pretty evident there for me of the sexual energy piece, the sexuality piece is really important, not just physically but spiritually. So I think we got to get this right down here, and so I'm really grateful to be a part of spearheading that and talking about this topic that is very powerful, but it's very hard to address and to talk about. So yeah, I'm really excited for that and to be a part of that. But yeah, it tore me up for a lot of years. I've got experience with it that I'm glad to share, but it's really torn me up, and I know it does a lot of men and women. And so yeah, it's big time work, and just yeah, grateful to have an opportunity and platform to do that.
Yeah, it's really awesome when, you have somebody like yourself that just, you come right out and say it. You're not afraid to talk about addiction. You're not afraid to call out that elephant in the room. And that can be challenging for some people, but
Yeah,
I think, a lot of the time, maybe that's what we really need is just come on, just flip the switch. It's time to talk.
yeah,
And I love that
yeah.
you're always there flipping that switch and ready to talk about the the core challenge right there that so many of us deal with.
Yeah,
And
yeah, it's huge.
yeah, officialhafsa.a says thank you for sharing, uh, and for your vulnerability. It's
Mm,
powerful. Vulnerability
mm,
is
thank you.
powerful, and that's one of the things that makes Johnathan so awesome.
Mm,
And
thanks,
so
man.
you're giving us that free gift, that audio recording of that meditation. I love that.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Have you read that meditation?
yeah, the trees meditation,
Surrounded by trees. Yeah.
surrounded by trees meditation. That's the one where you you kind of like pretend like you have roots of a tree growing down from you, right?
Hmm.
And then you like at the end you kind of break yourself off and you leave those roots planted.
Exactly.
Yeah, I actually was practicing like when I would do my yoga in the past. I haven't been doing yoga in a while, but when I was doing yoga in the past, I would recall that place where I planted my roots, and I still have it in my mind, like that specific spot where I first did that meditation,
Mm,
and I would just like imagine that grounding and connecting to that, and I really felt like it would help me lock in and kind of like stabilize, and even on a physical level,
mm. Yeah, I
which
love
is
that.
interesting.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, Anthony talks about that in one of his older posts on Facebook, how yoga, you can really connect with the poses out in nature. That's, where you can really connect with the healing frequencies of some of those poses. But yeah, I love that. I was actually thinking when you were talking, I was like, yeah, ending a yoga session on like a tree pose or like a modified mountain pose and growing those roots in and then breaking them off to end the practice. Yeah, love that.
So cool. All right,
Hmm.
Jonathan, is there anything else you want to share with people? Anything else you want to leave with them today before we wrap things up here?
Yeah, just keep healing. Keep healing. Yeah, I just want to leave. I always want to leave people with some inspiration, and I think that it's a time right now where we're all struggling with something, even if we're healing, right? There's always layers of growth. There's always layers of extra stuff that's coming to the surface, and you know, um, I believe the Earth is very much shifting in energy, and obviously we are connected to the Earth, and we talked about that, and so often it can be a challenging ride, and so I think it's important to yeah, just be compassionate with yourself, be compassionate with your liver, give your liver what it needs, get out in nature, and and yeah, connect with the greater earth, and yeah, just enjoy life, laugh, enjoy your pets, and yeah, just enjoy life and just be a light. If you are struggling with something or you feel like you're holding back and you have trouble speaking your truth or you're wondering how you can show up in the world and give your light, everyone's got a light to give, and just keep going, keep sharing, and yeah, taking one step forward at a time.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I just want to say thank you to Lyndon, I know you do a lot of work, man, and you're doing your own work behind the scenes too. I see you, trying to help people, and I just really appreciate what you're doing, and yeah, it's been awesome to be here talking with you, and just doing this whole thing with you.
I'm right there with you, brother. I mean, I
Mhm.
appreciate you. Thank you for sharing your time with us in this beautiful interview today. Thank
Mhm.
you for being a part of the summit and just everything that you do to help other people and live their best life and thrive. That's what it's all
Mhm.
about here at Heal Live Thrive community, right? We're all trying to help each other out and get them to thrive. So
Yes, love that.
um, So yeah, it's just amazing to have you part of this, Jonathan, and I can't wait to see your presentation. Why don't you tell people how people can how they can find you, how they can connect with you if they want to hear more from you.
Yeah, you can connect with me on Instagram. Yeah, Instagram or Facebook, and you can click on my link in my bio, and or send me a DM. Yeah, send me a DM. You can connect with me there, and yeah, those are
So,
the two main
so your
places.
handle, IG handle is
Yeah, yep. Johnathan Richard 33, and yeah, connect with me there, and yeah, send me a DM or um, my email is also fuschjohn33 @gmail as well. You can catch me there too.
awesome.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So come join the summit September 9th through the 17th. The link is in our bio to register. Make sure you get registered. If you can donate, great. If not, then don't worry. We want you there either way. We want everybody to show up because everything that you do as part of this community is going to help support um, the people that are healing warriors that are challenged by difficult circumstances. um, every like, comment, and share that you do for this community, it's going to help spread the message. It's going to help share tools and information and great resources like our beautiful soul Jonathan here that that really transforms our lives. It brings this community together. It makes a huge impact. So like it, comment, share it. Let us know what you think, and let us know if you're going to be there at the summit. So drop us a comment and we'll see you guys there. Link is in the bio. Until next time, guys, there's more interviews coming up. So be on the lookout. And that's it. Blessings, everybody. Peace and love y'all.
See you, man.
Take care.